So frustrating to play against Protoss.
Yeah. What are Protoss players doing now?
I don't know, they just bullying Terran. Proxy Gate, Gas Steal, Nexus first, Carrier.
Yeah.
하식스와 LG 울트라기어가 함께하는 ASL 시즌 11 4강 두 번째 경기 프리뷰로 인사드립니다. 안녕하세요, 이영경입니다. 지난 일요일에
We're
펼쳐졌던
back to
4강
ASL
첫 번째
Season11
경기,
Semifinal.
프로토스의
This is
유일한
match
수상이었던
2,
변현재
day
선수가
2.
이 디펜딩 챔피언 김명훈
She's
선수를
talking about the
압도적으로 제압하면서 4시즌
previous
결승
game.
진출에 성공했습니다. 자, 이제 오늘
Where,
경기를 통해서
where Mini played
변현재
against
선수의
Queen,
결승
and
상대가 정해지게 됩니다.
it was very impressive for Mini making it into final, and it was
이두 선수 이번 시즌
it was his
어땠는지
second time making it into final.
자, 먼저 조일장 선수 24강까지 올라오는
Before that,
과정이
we
너무나
are also
혼란했죠.
looking at
1일차와 2일차 모두
Hero
결승에서
and
패배를
Larva,
당하면서 마지막 날을
ASL
거치며
Season11
본선
key
진출에
point.
성공했는데요. 예선에 힘겨웠던 과정이
Hero
약이
made it
된
out in
걸까요?
round of 24, the
24강에서
first
황병영 선수와 김정우 선수를
first
유리
place in
잡아내고
round of 24.
16강에서도 3명의 테란 사이에서
first place in round of
전승으로
16 as
생존하며
well.
기세를
Hitting
올렸습니다. 자, 그리고
all
8강에서는
those Terran
강현철 선수를
players.
상대로
It was such a
단
death
한
group
세트만을
for Hero,
내어주며
but he
6시즌
survived.
만에 4강 진출에
And he also
성공했죠.
took down Snow
이에
3-1 in
맞서는
round of
이몽규
8.
선수는
And
지난
for
시즌
Larva,
3위를
we
기록하며
are
시즌을
seeing
얻었는데요. 이몽규 선수는
Larva
본인의 손으로
made it into top 4
그 속에서
from the
단단히
previous
1위로
tournament, so
생존하면서 새 시즌
he
연속으로
was a
8강에
seeded player, so he didn't
올라갔습니다.
get to play round of
8강에서 만난
24.
상대는
Round of
본인에게 온라인
15,
매치에서 1대 8이라는
he had
큰
2
상승을
Protoss
낸
and 1
유영진
Zergans
선수.
out of him
그러나
round of
유영진
15.
선수의
He
대결에서도
also made it
복수에
through as the
성공하면서 다시
first
한번 결승을
first
향한
place in
도전을
round of
하게
15.
됐네요. 자, 이어서
And
양
beating
선수가 승리하게
Rush
된다면
3-2
어떤
in
기록들이
round of 8.
만들어지게 될까요? 조일장 선수가
We're also
결승에
seeing
진출하게 된다면
Heroes
ASL 시즌 4에 이어 두
information
번째로
that
결승에
if
진출하게
he
되고요.
wins this
김정우, 김명훈 선수와 함께
semifinal,
2회 결승
he's going
진출에
to be
성공한 저그
in
선수가
the
됩니다.
final round,
그리고 현재
second
조일장
time
선수가
again.
8강까지 8승 1패의 성적을 기록하고
And he
있는데요.
also earned another
4강에서도
title,
6패로
ASL
결승에
Zerg.
올라가게 된다면 12승 1패,
third most
92.3%라는
Zerg player
어마어마한 성적을
who's making it to
기록하면서
final.
이영호 선수가
So tying
시즌 4
up with
당시 결승에
effort,
진출했던 승률인
Queen,
88.9%를
and Hero
넘어서게
if he makes
됩니다.
it through.
자, 반면 이에 맞서는 이몽규
If
선수가
Hero
만약에
wins
결승에
4-0,
올라가게 된다면 생애
okay, that was
처음으로
fast.
결승
We're also
진출에
seeing
성공하게 되는데요.
Larva's
이는 시즌
information.
4와
If he
시즌
makes it
10에서의
into
결승
final
도전을
in the
실패한
season,
후 세
this is
번째
going to be his
도전만에
first
처음으로
time making it
결승
into
진출에
final.
성공하는 것이 됩니다. 그리고 이몽규
And this is
선수가
his
결승에
third time
오르게
making it into
된다면
semifinal.
김정우, 이영한,
If he wins,
조일장,
he'll be in the
김명훈,
final
그리고
for the
박상현
first time.
선수에 이어 ASL에서는 6번째로 결승에
And he will be
진출하는 저그
the sixth
플레이어로서
Zerg
이름을 올릴
We
수
make it
있게
into
됩니다.
final. So he will earn that
자,
title as well.
그렇다면 양 선수의 경기를 바라보고 계시는 시청자 여러분들은 과연 어떻게 흘러갈 것이라고 예상하고 계실까요? 방금 전 7시까지 ASL 공식 방송국을 통해서 승자 예측을 투표한
saying
결과
A lot of people are also
57%
wondering who is going to win the game,
올렸습니다.
and they did
자,
the
과연 조일장
survey
선수는
on the
24%의
Africa
차이를 극복할 수
homepage,
있을지,
and
아니면
they
이몽규
said Larva
선수가 생애
has the
첫
favor
결승
against
진출에
Hero,
성공하게 될지
57%,
지켜보시기 바랍니다.
50%
자,
chance
그렇다면
beating
ASL
Hero,
시즌 11을
and
함께
the other people, 43% of people voted for Hero.
결승에 올라갈 것이라고 예상했는지 확인해 봤습니다.
We're also looking
자,
at
총
the
12명의 선수 중
the other
8명의
people,
선수가
other
이몽규
players'
선수의 승리를
prediction.
예측했고요. 이 대부분의 선수들이 4대2
We can
스코어로
see
이번 4강 경기가
quite a lot
흘러갈
of
것으로
people
예측하고 있었습니다.
made a prediction that Larva will be making it into
자,
final.
하식스와 LG 울트라기어가 함께하는 ASL 시즌 11 4강 두 번째 경기, 이제 오늘 경기를 통해 결승의 대진이 모두 완성됩니다. 과연 변현재 선수가
And we are
기다리는
going to
결승에
be
어떤
we're going to
선수가
play
저그를 대표해서
semifinal
올라가게
soon.
될지, 4강 두 번째
And as
경기
soon as this
조일장 선수와 이몽규
semifinal
선수의 경기
finishes, we are
지금부터
going to see
시작합니다.
who's going to be in the final. And we're starting soon now.
Yeah, so that prediction picture made me laugh a little bit because when I first looked at it, I was looking at it from bottom left to top right, and I saw all Larva, and I was like, wow, really? Did everybody predict Larva? That's a bit shocking. Oh, is that the intro?
Warriors have engaged the enemy.
Yeah, so the pros seem to be favoring Larva a little bit here. You know, actually, we haven't seen Larva play ZVZ at all in this tournament. He played ZVP in the round of 16, and then ZVP in the round of 8. So we'll see how his ZVZ is going to stand up here. Again,
역대급
we're getting
포스트를
into interviews
보여주면서
with
이
the
무대에
players
올라온 두
now.
명의 선수의 높은 승률로 이제 이 무대만 올라서게 되면 결승의 주인공이 됩니다.
조일장
Caster is
선수,
saying both of the players have been showing great performance on the
경기 시작 전에
offline
인터뷰를
tournament
진행해 보도록
in this
하겠습니다.
ASL Season 11,
조일장 선수,
having such a high win rate. And first of all, we're going to be talking with you
엄청난
first,
승률을
Hero.
자랑하면서 이 무대까지 올라왔습니다.
네.
그리고 여기
Previous season, you
이몽규
weren't really
선수를
playing
만나게
really well,
됐어요.
but
어떤
this
느낌인가요?
season in the ASL Season 11,
일단
you were playing really well.
잘하는 저그를 또
And
만나는
how do you feel
굉장히
about
기분
playing
좋고,
against Larva in semifinal?
잘만 하면 결승 갈 수
Hero
있지
is
않을까
saying
생각하고 있습니다.
Larva
지금
is such a
옆에서
strong
있는
Zerg
이몽규
right now,
선수는
and
엄청난
he likes to
여성력과
play against strong
보면은
players.
굉장히 듬직한 이 표정, 거기다 이 표, 뭔가 강력한 그 우승자의 그런 포스들
네.
느껴지지 않습니까? 이번 시즌 우승자의 포스.
Caster is
이번
saying
시즌
that a lot of people, a lot of ASL players voted for
뭐 때문에?
Larva that he will
노력이
make it into
부족해서,
final.
실력이 부족해서.
And do
아니,
you
예전
feel
영광이 없어서
the
뭐
atmosphere that
때문에?
Larva is showing
일단
the
오늘은
dominance in this offline
그냥
stage?
운이 저한테 따라줄 것 같아서 네 그렇습니다.
And Hero said he will make it into final
이몽규 선수를
easily,
보면서 계속 웃고 있습니다.
and he thinks
그리고 결승에
he has a really good feeling about
구두만 하면
today's
이기는 거
match.
아니에요? 이런 생각을 선수들이 할 수 있는 상황. 이번 경기가 사실상 결승전이다. 그런 생각하고 계시죠?
아니요 이번에 4강을 봤는데 현재가
A lot of
굉장히
people were
잘하더라고요.
saying
저는
that Larva dies to
명분이
9-pool easily.
그걸
So
이겨내길래
if you just go for 9-pool, you're gonna win against Larva easily, don't you?
그러면은
And
결승전 상대 변현재가
Hero said
어렵습니까? 아니면
something,
이몽규 선수가
but I
어렵습니까?
missed it.
솔직히.
I couldn't hear
솔직하게
him well.
홍규가 더 어려울 것 같습니다.
오! 이번 경기 잡으면 우승까지 노려볼 수 있다. 이몽규 선수는 아니 벌써
So,
땀이 나요.
Hero said
아니 시작도 안 했는데 땀이
playing
나요.
against Larva is
좀
more difficult than playing against me in the final
좀
because
루틴을 바꿨거든요. 이번
예.
시즌.
Larva is
그러니까
such a
좀
strong
굉장히
player.
게임이 잘 되더라고요. 그래서 오늘도
오.
같은 방법으로 좀
So Larva
아까 좀 대기실에서
is talking
이번
about
경기
his
나에게는
daily
정말
routine?
하늘이 내려준 기회다.
or his daily
잡아내면
pattern. He changed his
이몽규 선수
daily
결승에
pattern
올라갈
and
수
he
있는
feels really
초를
great
찬스.
about today.
느낌이 어떠세요?
숙제이자 기회인 것 같아요. 이제 매번 저그 대 저그전에서 좀 발목을 잡혔었는데
So he
이번에
said
저그 대 저그전 극복하고
he
올라간다면
always gets knocked out
누구한테도 지지
in
않을 것 같아요.
ZVZ
네.
on the semifinal,
그럼 사실상 이번 경기를 잘 풀어나간다면 이몽규 선수도
and it is also going to be
결승전은
his
프로토스의
homer
상대는요?
to make it through,
전현재입니다.
beating
우승이라고 생각하세요?
beating his opponent
아니요.
to make it into
아니에요?
final.
네. 변현재가 아니에요.
But it is
변현재가
also a
아니에요.
chance for him to make it
그럼
into.
이번이 사실상 결승전이네요.
It's a
조일장
chance for
이기면
him to
이몽규
make it into
우승이네요.
final.
서로 저나 뭐 일장형이든 누가 이기면은 무조건 우승한다고 저는 생각하고 있기 때문에
와. 우와.
오늘
So
최선을
Larva is
네.
saying Mini
그래서
is
오늘
not that
경기만 잘
scary player
풀어나간다면
for him.
ASL 우승자의 이몽규 선수
He thinks he has to beat Hero first.
상대 조일장 선수들이 만만치가 않잖아요.
And
어떤
since they're all
선수들이
good
같으세요?
friends, they're just gonna be
모든
cheering each other even if
종족전들 다
one of them
그룹으로 잘하기 때문에 정말
gets knocked
약점이
out
없는 선수라고
in this semifinal.
생각되는데 그만큼 막 장점도 못 이길 만큼 엄청 뚜렷하지 않은 것 같아서
네.
충분히 이길 수 있는 상대라고 생각합니다.
오, 잘하는데 뭐 장점도 그렇게 뛰어나지 않아서 고만고만한 선수다. 오.
So Larva is
부분에서 뭐 하나 특출나지 않고
Larva is just
고만고만한
reviewing
선수다.
Hero's
그렇다면
play style
조일장 선수가
that
생각하는
he doesn't have
이몽규
much.
선수는
He doesn't have
밸런스는
any
밸런스가
strongest
사실
part
없죠.
in StarCraft, like in
그냥
in
일단
terms of StarCraft
굉장히
skill.
기세가 좋아요.
Like
기세만.
micro,
기세를
macro,
근데 한번 타면
everything
진짜
is
막을
just
수가 없거든요.
오.
kind of about
타기-
same.
타지 못하게 오늘 할
네.
생각입니다.
So Larva thinks he will
밸런스
win
없는
easily.
저그, 노밸런스 저그, 기세 하나로만 쭉 밀고 올라오는 저그. 와.
So Hero also commented on about
일단
Larva.
그 기세 인정받아서 참 좋고요.
네.
Larva-
끊어지게
오.
오늘 최선을 다할 생각입니다.
자 그렇다면 끝으로
Larva is
조일장
just the
선수
type of
말씀해
Zerg
주시죠.
player who likes to go with the feeling.
지난 ASL
And no standard play
시즌4에서 3대2로 지고 나서 정말 몇 달을 잠을 제대로
He
못
saw about the
잤어요.
previous season that he lost to.
억울하기도 하고 좀 아쉽기도
I
하고
forgot who he
그런
lost to, but he lost to
시즌들이었었는데
the player
오늘 이
and 3-2,
자리에서 한번 털어내
and he
보도록 하겠습니다.
couldn't really
조일장
sleep
선수도 이몽규 선수에게
from that
말씀해 주시죠.
previous season.
일단 홍규가 지금
And this
진짜
season he wants to make it into the final
잘한다고
and wants
생각을
to have a
해가지고
nice sleep
저도
tonight.
열심히 준비를 했어요. 그래서
Any last
오늘
word?
저도
And Hero
뭔가
said
그냥 속 시원할 것 같고
he has to
그만큼
admit
미련
Larva
없이
is such a strong
준비했으니까
player, and he has to
잘해
agree with other people's opinion.
이제 결승전 한 자리가
So
좀
that's why he
가려집니다.
prepared a
변현재
lot
선수,
for today's
결승무대
match.
주인공 두 배레시
And
온라인에게
let's have a
승리하는
nice
뜨거운 박수로
match here.
4강 대결을 시작하겠습니다.
Okay, we're done with the interview, starting the ASL Season 11 Semifinal Day 2.
Yeah, this should be an exciting matchup. I think Larva's strong words for Hero, saying he's not really anything special in micro or macro. I don't know about that, because in ASL so far we've seen Hero really kill it in terms of the macro. Hope we got another intro.
벗어내기만 하면 결정을 더 유리한 사람 만들 수 있거든요.
네, 스쿼드가 워낙 많은 상황이어서 스쿼드가 땀이 없어졌는데요.
경기장을 잡아먹고 이곳도 선수를 잡아내면서 결승점으로 갑니다. 상대 공격 들어온 타이밍에 상대 기지를 초토화시켜 골장 놀라운 경기력으로 가장 먼저 8강 진출. 럭커 정도는 보여줘야 합니다. 경기력 부분에서도 대찬사를 받을 만큼 경기를 잘 풀어나갔거든요.
딱 들었어요. 이기에서 강해졌다는 게 이몽규의 발전된 그런 어떤 부분이 아닐까.
와 대단합니다. 유영진 선수 잡아내면서 4강 진출.
ASL Season11 Semifinal.
So you could see from the highlights that those were some pretty sick moves from Hero so far in the ASL 11. I like how they include the one game from a previous season versus Larva, and Hero wins. So I don't know why Larva is so confident in this matchup. What I wanted to say was Hero's been playing really well this season in terms of macro, and when I watch him stream, one of the flashy things that he does is he does do Hydra Plague Defiler versus Terran. Now this is not ZVT of course, but I know he is very good with Hydras, so it's a bit unusual to hear Larva say, like, you know, Hero doesn't excel at anything. That's a bit strange. But my personal opinion of Larva is he is a killer in terms of macro and multitask. Unfortunately for him, ZVZ is not one of those matchups where you have the sick multitask, you know, macroing like 10 hatches. So I think that this should be a closer series than Larva is anticipating.
Yeah, I've also seen, I think I also gave you a link where Larva macros all of his hatcheries with his fingers, like pressing all the key, like with his pinky finger and the thumb and so on. So in that kind of macro style, without looking the screen and constantly making the units while he's microing, I think Larva has the advantage in terms of a micro battle and also macroing at the same time. So I wonder how Hero's also going to be facing and dealing with the Larva's playstyle here.
Yeah, so you usually see that type of multitask come into play versus Terran or versus Protoss, which is why I was so shocked at the comments from Larva in a ZVZ, because ZVZ, you don't have that aspect. It's a lot of pure micro play, not really a lot of macro. Sure, there's great decision making going on from both sides. Do I need to build wings? Do I need to build drones? But either side. Now we are looking at Larva's results. You can see round of 16, season 8, round of 8, season 9, round of 4, season 10. So everything points to him continuing into the finals. It would follow his current path, going a step further every single time. Should be getting a look at the win rates pretty soon. I'm curious what that ZVZ win rate is. I like how, okay, there we go. Yeah, see, that's kind of what I was expecting, is that his lowest win rate, well, it's not his lowest, versus Terran is a bit low, but, you know, a lot of Zerg players struggle with ZVT because generally it's a Terran favored matchup, so not surprised that it's his lowest win rate, but you can see that his ZVZ win rate is pretty much matching his versus Terran win rate. Then we can see his most recent best of 5 series, taking out Queen, losing to Queen, then beating Sulky, and then losing to Queen again, losing to Flash, and then beating Rush. So actually, in his recent ZVZs, not having much success. However, you can see that both times he lost was versus the champion of the season in Queen. And then in his recent ZVZ matchups in general, obviously the Queen matchups he lost, and then versus Sulky he won, and then as expected in Season 4, we already knew that he lost versus Hero. So overall, as we were talking about, it seems like ZVZ is going to be the bane of Larva's existence here.
Yeah, we can see those scores really close in Season 4, Season 9, and Season 10. And Queen outplayed against Larva in this semi-final. But however, Larva probably prepared so much in this ASL Season 11 because he didn't even get to play any of a ZVZ in the season. So Hero already played couple of ZVZ games in round of 24, I believe. So Larva probably studied off how Hero usually plays in ZVZ, but Larva doesn't have any information about it. So it might be a little bit of a favor for Larva with the opening against Hero. We're also seeing some of how should I say, the banner or like the profile of both players. So this is saying that Larva, this is going to be his revenge match after the Season 4. This is his 3rd time trying to go up for the final, and he's always been losing in ZVZ. Will he be making it through in this time? And he's also keep becoming strong and strong. And previous season, Hero was not playing really well, and he was also getting knocked out in the qualifiers. He has the 2nd highest win rate in ZVZ in ASL tournament. This is his 1st time playing best of 7 series in an ASL tournament. He has been showing really sharp playstyle in the season.
It seems that the players are about to be ready. They are in the booth. Hero's worn this shirt almost every single time we've seen him, right? He's always wearing the no thank you shirt.
Yeah, he is.
We're looking
He's always wearing.
We're looking at his past 9 games. I think this is just ASL 11 games. Yeah, it's from round of 24 on. And he's gone 8-1. He's crushed everyone he's played against. There was only 1 game versus Snow. I think it was on Ascension that he lost. I can't remember exactly, but that was the only blemish on his record here. And as you mentioned, we saw him play, I think, just 1 ZVZ. It was versus Effort. And he kind of just ran away with that game quite quickly. However, you know, Effort is recently back from the army, maybe within the past year or so, and not completely up to form.
He's also wearing the same shirt from the probably 2 weeks ago or so.
Well, you know,
people might be thinking what that word is. Haim. That is his daughter's name, Haim.
That's a cute name. I've never heard of that name for a person before. Is that a common Korean name?
I don't think so. Maybe it's getting popular recently in this 2021.
Maybe Larva's setting the trend, and in future years, Haim will be a popular name going forward. You know
how Asian, like Korean, K-pop stars likes to have those old English name like Irene,
Yeah.
all those kind of names, and we think it's cute.
Okay, I can see that. Well, I think players are ready, so let's get into the first game of our second round of 4 series. It's going to be a ZVZ between Hero and Larva. Our first map has been set. It's on Hidden Track. I don't remember seeing a single ZVZ on this matchup, or on this map, I mean. So let's see who's going to start out with a quick early 1-0 lead in our best of 7. So in the bottom right, in the orange, our Zerg playing very well this season. It is Hero, and in the top left, having a few choice words for Hero, saying he's not anything special. It is Larva. So we've got Hidden Track, and Hidden Track is also kind of surprisingly long. Not as long as Ultimate Stream for sure, but did you hear any input on this map? Is this another map where it's unlikely to see 9-pull?
There's a little bit of a potential of going 9-pull because the natural is somewhat wide open, and from main base to the natural, and when you're on the defending side against the 9-pull with the 12-pull opening, you have to pull out the drones, and from main base to the net is so far that if Hero or Larva goes for the 9-pull speed first instead of 9-pull lair, they can do lots of damage. And we can see Hero is going for 9-pull here because he's on the right side of a mineral patch. He's also boosting up those mining time.
Yeah, I think he used the drone at the top mineral patch and then he instantly replaces it. You can see, oh, that time he did not do that horizontal mining. So, not boosting on that particular moment. Now, Larva, that is going to be an 11 hatch from him. Oh, is it in? Oh, I thought it was going to be in his main. Nope, is it going to be a 12-pull? Wow, so I guess Larva couldn't make up his mind on what he wanted to do and ends up actually going for the 12-pull. Now, this is kind of a middle-of-the-road build. However, he's going to have much better econ, and I imagine he's going to be putting down that hatchery, you know, within a minute or so.
A Hero is doing a little bit of a horizontal mining whenever he can, but as soon as the spawning pool finishes, he has to prioritize on the other stuff, sending his overlord, making sure whether Larva is located at the 1 o'clock or 7 o'clock or 11 o'clock, he has to make sure all of those, so he won't be doing the horizontal mining anymore. But we are seeing the Vesping gas just now disappear. We are seeing Hero has gone for the 9-pull speed. So it is a bit unlucky for Hero that he has gone for the 9-pull speed against this Larva is a 12-pull because it's a diagonal spawn. The rush distance is really far. So it might be a little bit easy for Larva to defend in this kind of situation.
Yeah, so 12-pull is completed. We're going to see the first few lings pop out for Larva pretty soon. And when Hero comes in here and sees that the Nat is about halfway done along with lings being built or in position already, I think he's going to be feeling pretty bad about his situation. As you mentioned, it's cross spawn, so you can see the timing here a bit unlucky for Hero that he's not able to get a closer position like bottom left or top right.
Larva is a little bit being greedy over here, not pulling any of a drone. Okay, is that the 2 drone? Never mind, that was a 2 extra Zerg. So Larva is somewhat thinking of a 9-pull lair in this kind of situation and not even pulling off any of a drone and constantly mining his main base gas. But here we go, he saw the metabolic boost is now done. Finally pulling out a couple of drones, attacking the hatchery.
Well, this is the crucial moment for Hero. Can he find an insane trade versus Larva? The hatchery has finished. He's going to have extra Larva. 4 drones were pulled off, but he goes back to mining already. Now Larva has kind of gotten through the dangerous moment from Hero. He's taken pretty much no losses. His speed is about to kick in. Oh, actually, I think it has kicked in. Now, what a lot of Zerg players do is right there is they branch off a couple of lings, and you can see that Larva knows that he's going to find these 4 lings instantly. No reaction from Hero. He's going to maybe lose a couple.
Yeah, that was a very big mistake for Hero. Hero is trying to pull back all of his Zergling and try to line up his ramp at his main base, but all those Zerglings got caught. And now Larva knows there's a couple of Zerglings out on the map, and also going to leave a couple of Zerglings at the natural, and making sure whether Hero has all those Zerglings lined up at the ramp. And I'm not sure about this decision by Larva, wasting quite a lot of Zerglings.
Yeah, the arc advantage for Hero, you can see it kicking in right there. Every single fight is like 4 versus 3. That was not the trade Larva wanted. I was wondering if he was going to build more lings, if he was going to build drones, and the answer is he has built drones. I did not see a Spire anywhere. In fact, I don't think he was mining gas for a long time. So despite having the lair done, this is probably going to be Evolution Chamber coming down for him. Yep, there it is. So we are going to go into somewhat of a different game than what we usually see in ZVZ.
Larva is trying to drone out more and also trying to defend those Zergling harassment. It is very important not letting those Zerglings to get in, but that 3 Zerglings will buy quite a lot of times.
He loses. You can't lose 2 drones. That's a big loss. Look how few drones are in his main now. He's got almost completely saturated base at his natural. However, getting 2 drone kills in a ZVZ, that's massive. Luckily for Larva, he's gone for an economic build with the 2 hatches. He'll be able to rebuild them quite quickly. But you can see mutas are already out for Hero. He even snipes an Overlord. Now, what I'm looking for right now is creep colony placement. You can see there is no defense at the bottom side. That means Larva is not going to be able to mine from that position for a long time unless a colony gets placed there pretty much ASAP.
I'm looking at very carefully of Larva's Zerglings and how much of the remaining Zerglings are, and also whether Hero is planning to go for the 3 Mutalists or 5 Mutalists into Zergling all-in or whatsoever, but we don't see Hero. Is Hero cutting his gas?
Oh, look at this. An instant backstab from Larva right after Hero moves out of position. He knows that something like this could happen, so he's built a creep colony. The drill is pretty good, but the drones aren't attacking. Meanwhile, I know Larva... Oh, Hero has lings out in the center of the map, but they're not doing anything.
Yeah, that was a nice drone drill to defend a 3 Zergling attack, but that Spore Colony, I feel like it's a little bit of a far to defend at the main. So he might need to build another one, and yes, he will. But judging by the number of drones that how much Larva has at the net, he looks really good on this position right now.
Yeah, this is an awkward position for both players. Larva has to defend his drone line in the main because the colonies are not in an ideal position. You can see that that pool I thought was a little bit too far forward, and the mineral line is kind of exposed at the top side here. He's got enough mutas to one-shot those drones, and despite having this Larva advantage, Larva's not really able to use it because the drones get instantly picked off. Now we see that Hero's going for some type of backstab with these lings. The mutas are going to intercept lings in the center of the map, and I think this incoming attack could be very dangerous, especially if he's able to pick off one of the colonies with the lings. Like if he just jumps on it. You can see that Larva, of course, knows that. He's on hold position right next to that spore.
If those 7 mutas are really doing great job here and there and picking up some drones, and those Zerglings once again trying to go for the harassment, and Hero made a mistake here.
Yeah, that was a really good trade for Hero right there. He even got supply blocks somewhere. You can see he's at 30 out of 25. Now Larva started to build up his muta count. Scourge actually make a connection onto a mutalist. You almost never see that in pro level ZVZ, so nicely done from Larva. And still it is a sizable muta lead for Hero though, but he does have his nat coming up. He just started it. Meanwhile, you can see Larva now finally putting down gas at his natural, so even though he's down in mutalist right now, he's going to catch up pretty quickly.
We can see Heroes also putting down the second hatchery at the natural and having quite a lot of drones at the main base. But Larva is finally trying to get the second extractor, but he may need another spore colony to defend that second extractor because somewhat exposed, and whenever the Larva is mining that second gas, Hero will be constantly picking up drones here and there. But that rotation of the 4 mutalists, I don't think Hero caught this, or did he?
He didn't, but this might be an overstep because those mutas in the center of the map could easily go for a better angle and try and cut these mutas off. But at the same time, Larva making a smart move, attacking into the natural to make sure that these mutas don't get cut off. And in the end, Hero loses so many drones, and Larva is going to get away with these mutalisks. This was a fantastic move from Larva.
That was such a huge mining loss for Hero and losing the drone here and there. And all those Zerglings just bought a lot of time, and now Larva is ready to macro with the 2 gas, and Hero still needs to make a couple more drones. He only has 4 or 5 drones mining at the natural. That's all he has.
Yeah, he has almost no econ. He has the double gas just like Larva, but you can see supplies in favor of Larva even though he has an equal amount of mutas, so this is fantastic position for him. Meanwhile, you can see that the drone saturation in the main, not the greatest for Larva, but there are no drones in the main mining minerals for Hero, so it's just fine and dandy for him. And something that Hero does not have is there is no spores, so you know, Larva doesn't have to worry about a counterattack because spores can hold it off, so he can just willy-nilly move these mutas and Scourge around and be content that he's not going to get counterattacked. And I'm getting very worried for Hero right now, especially if Lings run into the main.
I feel like Larva is squeezing all those Vespene gas for extra Scourges, and he has right now the 11 Mutalisks, so that is a nice pick of 2 Scourges, so Hero knows what's coming now.
Oh,
and
Larva
definitely has more Mutalisks.
Yeah, he's got more Mutalisks, and he got the first shot onto the Mutalisk. It's like 10 versus 8 right now. Larva should easily win this fight. Actually, it's 11 versus 8. This is pretty much impossible for him to win.
Insane. All the Scourge did not connect, and Larva just pretty much outplayed with the Mutalisks and Scourges as well. That's such a big win with the Mutalisk battle.
Yeah, that was perfect play from Larva. In the colony in the main, at the bottom side of the lair, I was worried, thinking, okay, well, maybe Hero can catch up here because he's going to kill so many drones in the main and natural. But not the case. Larva recovered well, ends up matching the muta count, and as soon as he got matching mutas, he just straight up destroyed Hero. So that 9-pool aggressive opener did not work out for him. Now, I don't know if that was the map being a big factor here, but Larva, he's got to be feeling really confident after the first game.
Yeah, I think Hero wanted to give a shot with the 9-pool speed if it was a vertical or horizontal matchup, but however it was a diagonal match, and it was a 33% of chance playing a cross-spawn location. It was a bit unlucky for Hero, and Larva will take the first win.
There were a couple moments in the game where Larva caught a lot of Hero's Lings. You remember he caught like 8, and then he caught a few in the center of the map in the early stages. And that was a big difference maker here for him. Of course, Larva attacking into the ramp on Hero's side of the map was a bit of a blunder, but didn't backfire. I think we're going into a commercial, so we'll be back in just a moment. are back. We're going to be getting into game 2 momentarily.
하식스와 LG
We're gonna talk
울트라기어가
about
함께하는
ASL Tumbler.
ASL 시즌 11 4강 두 번째 경기 조일장 선수와
And yes,
이몽규
we
선수의
are
경기 함께하고 계십니다.
just finished
첫
with the
번째
game
세트는
number 1.
이몽규 선수가 승리를 가져가게
You're
됐는데요.
watching Larva
두 번째
vs.
세트
Hero.
만나보시기
Larva takes the
앞서서
first
여러분들을
game.
위해 준비된 이벤트
And before we
안내드립니다.
go into game
자,
number
먼저
2,
방금 전
we are
7시까지
going to
진행된
advertise the
ASL
ASL Season11
승자 예측
event.
이벤트입니다. 결승에 진출할
And
것
there's a
같은
prediction
선수에게
event,
투표하시고
ASL prediction
응원의
event.
댓글을
If you
남겨주시면
get
추첨을
the
통해 ASL 텀블러
you got the
선물을
prediction
드리도록
right,
하겠습니다.
you'll
자,
get
또
the
하나의
ASL
이벤트는
Tumbler.
아프리카 TV 게임 앤
And you
e스포츠
also
SNS를 통해 진행되는
verify to
시청
AS
인증 이벤트인데요.
Africa that you're
시청하고
watching
계시는 사진을
ASL.
댓글로 남겨주시면
You
추첨을
also
통해
get the ASL Tumbler
텀블러와
plus the
우산
umbrella.
세트로 보내드리도록 하겠습니다. 자, 결승전 이벤트도 준비 중에 있습니다. ASL 공식 방송국 투표를 통해서 우승자를
And they're also
맞춰주시면
having another
추첨을 통해
event,
10분께
ASL Season11
텀블러
Finals event.
보내드리도록
If you
하겠고요.
also
아프리카 TV 게임 앤 e스포츠
the
SNS를
finals
통해서
prediction,
인증샷 남겨주시는
10
분들께
people will get ASL
추첨해서
tumblers.
ASL
And
텀블러와
you
우산
also,
보내드리도록 하겠습니다.
yeah, they're also going to be
자,
doing
그리고
the
ASL 공식 방송국에 올라온 홍보 게시글을
verifying that you're watching the
SNS에
ASL in
올려주시고
Africa.
포스트
You also
링크를
get the
댓글로
umbrella and the
남겨주시면
tumbler
두
together.
분을 추첨해서 ASL 유니폼 드린다고 하니까요.
And
이벤트를 향한
if we
여러분의
are
많은 참여를
sharing the
부탁드리도록
final
하겠습니다.
event, the ASL
ASL
Season11
시즌
final
11
event,
4강 두 번째
and leaving the
경기,
comment on the
현재는
Africa
이몽규
homepage,
선수가 1대 0으로
you get the
리드하고
ASL
있는데요.
jacket.
과연 이 스코어가
That's
2대
cool.
0으로 흘러가게 될지 아니면 1대 1로 승부는 원점으로 되돌아가게 될지 이어지는 두 번째 세트 조일장 선수가 선택한 전장인 투혼에서 함께하시죠.
Play on a two-player map. Looks like they want to play on a fighting spirit chosen by Hero.
So Fighting Spirit is going to be the map. Remember, Larva is up 1-0, and ZVZ, definitely a very volatile matchup for sure, even though Hero's down 0-1, he could bring it back. And Larva looking to secure a 2-0 lead. Let's see if he can do it. So in the bottom left, in the pink, it is Hero, and in the top right, in the red, we have Larva, who is up 1-0. Now, something to notice is both players are scouting the correct direction. They are just going towards, well, they're going towards the normal direction is what I mean. They're looking at the natural. They're not doing any sort of funky business, like, for example, Larva going to top left. However, it is cross spawn, so neither player is going to scout each other first.
Look at that mineral gap already. Slowly getting a big difference.
Yeah, and in ZVZ, it's a big difference, right? Because unlike, you know, Terran or Protoss, you don't queue up workers. Anytime you can use the money, you can get an additional worker out ASAP.
Yeah. And Larva is also mining on the right side, so he's also going to be working on that horizontal mining always and having that mineral boost already. He missed that horizontal mining this time, but still compensating here and there.
Yeah, I looked at the Overlord timing. It's like half a second faster for Larva right now. It could be a bigger deal as the game progresses. Meanwhile, both players have built the Overlord. Neither player has gone for an overpull, so we are setting up potentially for another a macro type play. We'll see if it's going to be a 12 pull or a 12 hatch. Larva, I think that's another 12 pull. Nope, that's going to, both players are going to go for a fast hatch. However, Larva's going to go for the 12 hatch.
And so this is going to be a little bit about Larva's favor, and having that extra drone in the early game, you will have more income.
Yeah, the
Hero is playing a little bit safe here, going for 11 hatchery.
Yeah, the hatch timing was basically identical for both players, so to have that additional drone out for, you know, 12 seconds or whatever the timer is, that is, you know, a decent gain for Larva. I think it's about 8 seconds to mine one patch, so he's getting about additional maybe 2 1 or 2 pulls from that drone. So, you know, not the biggest lead, but does add up over time. So we do see the pull timing basically identical. Also, both players going for the extractor also. And everything is just fine and dandy for both players. They're basically mimicking each other.
Yeah, even though both of the players are playing the exact same build, or even though Hero did with the 11 hatchery and then made an extra drone there, compensating. But in terms of a mining, Larva, every second of his build order is slightly faster than Hero, so he will have the build order timing of advantage in the middle and the late game here.
You know, I've been watching Larva's top drone mining every single time we get a look there, and I don't see him ever doing the horizontal mining. Now that is a big loss for Hero, because he builds a colony because he doesn't know what it is and he doesn't want to die. Meanwhile, Larva is just playing hella greedy. He's not building a colony. So he was already up 1 drone to begin with. He's probably going to be up an additional, well, maybe not up a drone, but he had his additional drone faster. Oh, he ends up building a drone at the natural too. So he is up actually 1 drone, and this is going to be a great lead for Larva in the early stages of the game.
This is such a big lead for Larva, and since Hero built a super fast sunken colony at the natural, as soon as the hatchery finishes, he won't be getting speed. Okay, now that 100 Vespin gas just now disappears, so Hero knows this is going to be a 12 hatchery versus 12 hatchery because none of the Zerglings has come to their natural yet. As soon as that Zergling, okay, Larva knows there's a sunken at the net. So as soon as Larva knows there's a sunken at the net, he won't be getting much of a Zergling. But however, Hero spent that 100 Vespin gas later. I'm not sure how late it was, but it might trigger off guard for Larva because Larva thinks Hero did not get the Zergling speed.
Yeah, we see that Hero's the one that, well, as I say that, I think he just built a couple more lings. So the ling count is pretty close. It's like 8 to 6 right now. Now Larva is going to match the sunken colony timing, or sunken colony, I mean. He does have a similar drone count at the natural. I think it's 4 to 3 right now. Maybe it's 3 to 3. Yeah, both players taking their nat gas. Oh, he saw a decent chunk of lings. So Larva knows that an incoming ling attack is on the way, and the Overlord may have spotted them moving out too, so he knows exactly what's going on. He needs to morph that colony though. Meanwhile, okay, 2 lings are gonna run. No, they're not gonna run by. Remember, the colony is there. This is a
yeah,
decent...
he's making now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wanting to point out that he's making the sunken colony now, so it's a little bit of a being greedy, and Hero is going for the mass attack, but that's a nice building SimCity.
He does lose 2 drones, but at the same time, Hero's losing a lot of lings. But is there just flat out too many lings for Hero?
Yeah, that was a nice block with the Zerg egg at the natural. That egg actually blocked the path for the Zerglings to surround the sunken. So now both of the players have finished the Spire attack. Getting a couple of mutilates, but Larva lost quite a lot of mining time because he has to do the drone drill and lost the drone, but he was building the evolution chamber.
Now look at this. Even though there are only 2 drones, or even though there are double gas for both players, only 2 drones mining for Hero on his side of the map. Meanwhile, Larva is mining with all 3 drones on gas, and he built an additional drone too. So not only does he have more gas econ coming in, he's going to have slightly better mineral econ. Now those mutas, yeah, they need to turn around, but that's a lot of lings and might try and run by this.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this decision making. Maybe he wants to pick up a drone at the natural, but that was a nice defense for Hero, losing only 1 single drone.
But 2 lings get into the main, and if he can get another drone, that would be great for him. He gets one at the natural and in the main. That's fantastic. And that means, and we know that Larva already had a drone lead, so this is something like a 3 or 4 drone lead now for him, and it kind of puts Hero on a clock, especially since he's not mining his gas as efficiently as Larva. Now, that's a lot of Scourge, though.
He just changed the Overlord. He just grabbed the Overlord at the 5 o'clock site because the Overlord has to be really far in order to stack your mutalisks, and now that is quite a lot of harassment done by Hero. A lot of Scourge Muta battle.
Yeah, well, that's what Hero needed to do. He needed to even up the drone count. I think Larva still has a slight advantage. I saw at least one of his Scourge connect. I know one of Hero's Scourge connected too, but for now, oh, maybe that's not as many Mutas as I thought. Is it really just 5? Or no, that's not 5. That's 8 right there. I thought those were Scourges on the last couple Mutalist icons.
Yeah, we are seeing, I think Larva is squeezing all of his money for, yeah, he just spent another 75 Vespin gas, so looks like Larva is planning to move out soon. And Hero also needed to make the extra drone for his natural and then the main base for the great amount of a worker count for 2 base, Mutalisk and Scourge. But now, I think Larva might be ready to move out. Once again, he's about to have 11 Mutalisks.
Yeah, he has 11 right now, in fact, and it's only 10 for Hero right now. One of those Mutas is damaged by a Scourge too, and it seems that the Scourge count is basically identical for both players. So again, Larva has a slight lead here. He should win this fight. And both, first here goes the Hero though. Let's see if the micro is good. Larva is picking off all the Scourge. Meanwhile, Hero struggling to pick off the Scourge. This is going to be another overwhelming win for Larva, I think.
Wow, none of the Scourge actually connected Larva's Mutalisk. And Larva probably figured out that, yeah, this is the strongest part about Larva. Like, he can micro and macro at the same time with his finger. This is such a big, oh my god, such a big win with the Mutalisk battle.
Wow, that was, again, perfection with the Mutas. What a blowout fight. Remember, it was basically even Scourge. One less Muta for Hero. One Muta was damaged too. But at the end, Larva has 10 Mutalisks left over. That's just crazy how much better he is with the Mutas in the fights. Like, not only does he kill the Mutas more effectively, you saw the Scourge. Like, he was able to instantly blow up the Scourge, and Hero struggled just picking off the Scourge from Larva.
Yeah, all those micro battle between Hero and Larva, that was insane. None of the Scourge actually connect, as you mentioned. Larva is going to have such a great feeling that he's gonna be making it into finals super easily this tonight's match. And now this is on a downside for Hero that he has lost that Mutalisk battle 2 times on a one-sided battle like this 2 times in a row. So he needs to take care of his mentality right now in order to keep up the game for the game number 3.
Yeah, I was going to say that we saw Hero be aggressive in game 1 and then play a bit more of a macro game in game 2, but actually in game 2 he was very aggressive with his Lings after going for that fast hatch. And now maybe he needs to just try and play a macro game versus Larva, because clearly the aggression is not working. It didn't do any damage in the first game. It did a decent amount of damage in the second game, getting those 2 drones, but not enough to put it in his favor. All it did was really even up the drone count because they both had 3 drones at the end of that fight. So maybe Hero needs to start thinking about something else other than putting on the aggression. Maybe let Larva bring it to him with the Lings, and maybe if he can get up a drone, he can solidify a victory. But yeah, the first 2 games, Larva looks next level. Like, it doesn't really look like it's close, because Hero, like, at the end of the Muta fights, it's just a blowout.
Yeah, all of the Mutalisk and Scourge micro battle between those 2 players, Larva's Muta micro was just perfect.
Yeah, it really was perfect. So let's get into game 3. Really, Hero has to win here, because going down 3-0, that's almost impossible. So let's see if Hero can do it. Alright, so in the bottom left, in the red, he's down 2-0. It is Hero. And in the bottom right, in the blue, I mean, this guy, he's amazing right now. He's just fantastic Muta control. He has complete understanding of what Hero is opting for, and he knows, even with just a tiny lead, 1 more Mutalisk, that's all he needs to secure the win. Larva's really on fire. I'm very worried for Mini if Larva makes it into the finals, because we know his ZVP is on point, and clearly his micro's on point too. Now this game, we do not have cross spawns, and both players are going to intercept each other in the center of the map. Now, if you intercept the Overlord, and you were going for like an Overlord opener here, and you're kind of like in between going for a 12 hatch or 12 pool, does scouting the Overlord affect your build order? Like,
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Because here, normally when you're sending your first Overlord Scout, you always send it to the natural, so you can see whether it is going for to be a 9 pull, or even also confirming whether the opponent has gone for the 11 or 12 hatchery, or 12 pull into 2 hatchery. But if both of the pairs has planned to go for a macro game and sees the Overlord meeting up in the middle of the map like this, Larva won't be going for 12 hatchery. So I'm gonna be assuming Larva will go for 12 pull. Never mind, Larva? Okay, I guess Larva will go for 12 hatchery. I guess he's on a great feeling that he thinks Hero won't be going for the 9 pull, because like I said in the before that, ultimate stream from main base to the main base, the rush distance is super far, that he won't be getting 9 pull. So he's just assuming Hero won't be going for 9 pull. So that was a little bit of a great mind game for Larva going for the 12 hatchery, and Hero is once again playing passive here, going for the 12 pull into expansion.
yeah, and now Larva's seeing the hatch follow-up. He knows that, well, this can't be a 9 pull, it can't be a 10 pull. It's too fast for the hatchery to be going down to be one of those. So he knows that he's got 12 hatch versus 12 pull, pretty much the dream opener for him. So he's going to be feeling really good about this situation. Now, meanwhile, both players have, of course, well, gotten that gas going, but Heroes is a little bit faster. He's got about maybe 1 Scourge production advantage so far. Meanwhile, Hero's going to come in here and see. Well, I mean, he can't really... Okay, now once he sees the pool, of course, he can tell that this was a 12 hatch, but the first few links from Hero are already out. And did he get speed again?
Yeah, he went for the speed again, and Larva will know immediately that that is not going to be the lair first for Hero. If you're going for 12 pull to hatchery into lair, you usually start your lair tag at 2 minute 40 seconds, somewhere around there. But as soon as that first Overlord got inside of a Hero's main base and knew the lair tag did not even start when the Zergling came out. So Larva definitely knows this is 12 pull speed on the way. And Larva needs to be careful because his metabolic boost is slightly slower than Hero's metabolic boost.
Yeah, but he has more lings, and I think with 8 lings he can actually have a complete wall at that ramp. Meanwhile, we did see that a couple drones were produced from Hero, so he's not going to continue with aggression. Well, he's going to try, of course, to get these lings in, but he's not pumping more lings is what I mean. However, this is 10 versus 6. He lets in all 6.
That's a big mistake for Larva. And that's a nice block with a couple of Zergling, not letting that 6 Zergling, but it's still way too fast and letting inside of a main base. And this is going to delay Larva's Spire timing.
Oh, but it's an instant counterattack from Larva, and he's just going to try and fend this off with his popping lings. And there's nothing here. He's just going to walk on by this Sunken. How does Hero defend this?
Oh my god, I didn't expect that of a counter Zergling attack. And that natural Sunken did not even finish on time, so Hero won't be able to get the Spartak same as Larva. But these drones are losing so much of a mining time. All those Hero's 6 Zergling inside of a Larva's main base just pretty much cleared.
He gets 1 drone. There was another one that was dangerously low, as you saw, but both players did lose a lot of econ going for that. However, okay, I thought he didn't realize that he didn't put down his Spire. However, it seems the game is stabilized at this point, but Larva has a ton more supply, a lot more lings, I think, right now. Going for a run, but I don't think that's going to work. Both players' Spires, okay, that's a lot of lings. And this may actually end the game if he just goes for it. Larva knows, and he is going to go for it.
Ooh. Yeah, this is the...
Oh, he built a drone!
That is a very strong move with the Larva. And all those Zerglings are still alive, and I don't think Hero can even do the drone drill to defend this, because if he ever tries to do the drone drill, those number of Zerglings will instantly kill the drone immediately. And now Hero is trying to get a couple more of Zerglings from the X, but doesn't even matter because more Zerglings are coming. Yeah, more coming at the natural. Okay, Larva was a little bit hesitant over here, but it will do the run by once again. I don't think Hero can defend here.
He's gonna pick off the drones again. He's gonna kill the Lings too. He pops that drone, and this whole time Larva's mining gas. He was behind gas at some point, but now he's caught up, and the GG taps out Hero, and now Larva's up 3-0. I don't know what Hero can do now. I honestly don't know what he can do, because the aggression didn't work in the first 2 games. He got mind game in game 3. You know, I was specifically asking about the Overlord because I thought both players might, you know, end up going for a pool, but in the end it was Larva that knew Hero would go for the pool and gets build order win versus him, and the counterattack was fantastic.
Yeah, that was a nice ball move for Larva, going for 12 hatchery, even though he saw that counterclockwise of Overlord Scout by Hero, and still decided to go for the 12 hatchery. And I'm not sure about Hero's plan. Hero did well with the 6 circling run by with the speed when the speed was finished, but I guess he didn't expect of a counter Zergling would be going inside of his base.
Well, the last map is going to be Ascension. Okay, well, first let's find out if we're going to go into a commercial. I think we might be going into one, but
Hot
again,
6.
oh yeah, we got to go into the Hot 6 commercial, of course. But they threw us off this time because this is the 3rd game that we've done already. Usually it's after the 2nd game.
I think they did the Hot 6 commercial after the game number 2 in Best of 5 series, but if it's a Best of 7, they the first commercial after the first game, and then 2 games from the number 2 and the number 3, and then I think they're gonna go for the Hot 6 commercial here.
Okay, yeah, of course. It's going to be the Hot 6 commercial. So, let me ask you here, what do you think Hero should go for? Because the map's going to be Ascension.
I think it's a bit sad to say, but the atmosphere, all those feeling is already on Larva's side. Larva is currently playing really, really well, showing all those one-sided Mura micro battle in the game number 1 and game number 2. And Hero still wanted to do some decision making with the 6 Zergling run by in game number 3, but didn't really work well. Larva is just pretty much countering whatever Hero was doing, and I think it's not his Hero's day to play really well tonight. But he still needs to take care of his mentality to keep up the game, and still, even though it's he's losing 0-3, still he has a chance to make it back.
For sure, Hero does have the ability to come back 4-0, but ZVZ, man, what a volatile matchup. You would think that Larva could luck out even just 1 win out of 4 games. So it's going to be really hard for Hero to, you know, come back 4-3. But I am a believer. You know, going into this game, it is Ascension, and I kind of want to see Hero go for the macro play, like 12 hatch, or at least get to 2 hatch play and try and play from there. However, Ascension is one of those maps where if you get air advantage, you know, that choke between the main and the natural, it's a very, very small. And if mutas kind of just hover around there, we may see Larva run Lings into the main if he goes for like a 1 hatch aggressive build. And I find that so hard to stop in ZVZ that I'm on the fence. Like, should Hero continue with aggression? We've seen it get stopped every time, but he also just tried to play a macro game and that got stopped. So I don't know what he really should go for in game 4.
Yeah, he needs to
flavors that Hot 6 has.
I think they're getting some of a sign from ASL staffs. But yeah, Hero really needs to do some really great decision making to make some comeback in game number 4.
야채
Hey guys, we're back and we're going to be getting into Game 4 in just a second. It's been a blowout so far. Larva's making it convincing that he is the superior ZVZ player. I'm getting kind of flashbacks to the Mini versus Best series where it was just not close at all. But Hero, he has done very well in ASL so far this season. I do think he can bring it back, but today it just looks like Larva's on fire.
I just remember something that, remember I was saying that Hero was having some difficulty making it through an ASL qualifier. I remember that Hero knocked out by Gamo in qualifier day 1, 2-0.
Oh, Gamo
so maybe
knocked
it
him
is,
out?
yeah, Gamo knocked him out. And I guess Hero is he's currently not really doing well in the ZVZ in ASL Season 11, I suppose, but he still needs to take care of his mind, and sure needs to make some comeback in game number 4. He chose his map, Ascension.
Yeah, that's surprising to hear because we saw the statistics. ZVZ is his best matchup, but maybe slumping in it right now. Regardless, he's got to win here because if he doesn't, he's out of the ASL. It's game 4. Larva is up 3-0. Larva 1 game away. He's so close. It would be the first time he makes it into the finals, so that's an exciting moment for him. But let's see if our hero here can turn it around and start his comeback with a victory on Ascension. So in the bottom right in the blue, our Zerg player down 3-0. It is Hero. And in the bottom left, our red Zerg 1 game away from the finals for the first time. It is Larva. Now this time around, luck is finally on Hero's side because he's going to get a first scout off. And Larva is scouting the wrong direction.
And I'm also looking at the supply count and the mining of both players. Hero is also doing that horizontal mining with the mineral boost here and there, and he's slowly getting the advantage with the supply count and having the slightly advantage here. And Ascension, all of the maps do not mine equally. And no matter what race you are, the 7 o'clock Ascension has the worst mining location. So it is somewhat a favor for here in this game number 4. And once again, Larva is making over. Looks like Larva is not prepared for any of 9 pull opening this game.
So we've got another 9, or is it an overpull?
No, that is 9 pull.
Yeah, I thought it was a 9 pull. It's a 9 pull from Hero again. So he's decided that macro's not the way to play versus Larva. He's going to continue the aggression. All day today, we've seen Larva shut it down. Now, the question here is this a 12 hatch or is this a 12 pull? I think it's a 12 pull. And again, Larva has an amazing build order versus what Hero's going for.
I think I know what Larva's plan is, that he has won that mirrorless battle 2 times in a row. So as long as he just survives from the early attack, like 9 pull rush or whatsoever, even if he loses the build order with a 12 pull versus like a 12 hatchery, if Hero has gone for the 12 hatchery, I think Larva doesn't even care because he can just win the Muta micro there.
Yeah, it makes sense. Every Muta fight has not been close, even though the Muta count has been close. The end result is Larva is extremely far ahead after the fight. Now we do see he's putting down his hatchery. That Overlord path is a little bit off. I don't think it is going to scout the hatchery unless he moves it a little bit. But Lings are already moving out. Larva's pool not finished just yet. Okay, now it's going to finish. He needs to build that extra Ling. Okay, he ended up building it. Now, was this lair first or speed first?
That was a speed first once again by Hero. We can see he's making extra Zergling after 6. We can see 7 and 8 Zerglings are also coming.
So again, there's going to be speed advantage for Hero. Now, as I mentioned, this choke is very tiny for Larva. So if Lings try to go for a run by, it's not clear if you know, very many will get in that easily. However, Lings are already on this hatchery. You can see that Larva is pulling a few drones here. He ends up pulling 3 this time.
Oh, that drone. Yeah, that drone really needs to fight really well and have a great position. And he pulled another one. 4 drone once again, just like the game number 1. I guess he knows that the perfect number of a drone count to defend against the Zergling is 4 drone, but losing 1 drone.
Yep, losing 1 drone does make a difference. 5 damage versus Lings is sizable. That's an overwhelming amount of Lings for Hero right now. He might be able to just take it.
It's like that is a big victory for Hero, but okay, picked up another drone.
Is this already too much damage? He's killed 2 drones. He may get the hatch. He's going to focus down the egg. Well, maybe he's not going to focus down the egg. He's going to back off for now. But Hero, this is the best position he's been in all game long. You can see speed is kicked in now for Larva. He's got double hatch running, but he's down Lings right at this instant. But Hero on 1 hatch production realizes that the double Larva production from Larva coming in, he's going to need to back off.
It is somewhat similar from game number 1, but the difference is that he lost that early 2 drone from that Zergling battle before the metabolic boost finishes, and we know that Larva did not even start his lair tech on the way. So Larva definitely will have a lot of minerals and all those income with the number of drones right now he has, but Hero's lair tech and Aspire tech and it's just way too fast. And this time, yeah, Hero did not hide any of the Zerglings.
Yeah, he did not hide any. Instead, he's kept all of them in position. Look at Larva. He's trying to put his Overlord on top of some Lings to mess up the arc, but there's way too many Lings for that to be a deterrent. He's trying to trade effectively here, but he's really not doing the best job. Meanwhile, Larva is now starting to transition out of this. Ooh, almost kills a Ling and saves one of his own. But Spire's done, so the first 3 Mutalisks are going to come out.
That is a nice Zergling trade for Larva, but now the Larva is trying to break, but the 3 Mutalisks will be coming out soon, so Larva cannot commit to trade more of the Zerglings.
Look at that Evo chamber. Is that too late? Like, Mutas are about to pop out in 5 seconds.
I'm not sure, but I think it might be at the perfect time because the Creek Colony takes 19 seconds and making it to Sunken Colony, or Spore Colony takes another 19 seconds, so that's total 38 seconds, and I think he will have on time to finish, but the Evo chamber just now finished, but I'm not sure. Maybe he might lose a little bit of a drone at the natural, so he needs to build another Creek Colony.
Yep. Now this Spore Colony positioning is a bit interesting because if you look at the natural, it's placed in the mineral line. Oh, how do 3 Lings get through there?
Ooh. That was a completely off guard for Hero. Hero wasn't paying attention of this. And did he lose the drone? Maybe not. Okay. That was a nice defense, but all those attention that Hero had to pay attention at the main base. Now Larva bought all those time and built all those Spur Colony on the time.
Yeah, you can see that Hero instantly puts down a hatchery. Those Lings did not do any damage other than forcing a drone pull. Now, what I wanted to point out at the natural is Spore Colony is defending the mineral line, but does not defend the gas. So even though Larva has access to second gas right now, he can't take it. Mutas could just kill the extractor over and over right now, unless he builds an additional Spore Colony. Now, this is the question that I was wondering is, did he lose too many Lings? Looks like for now, there's not enough Lings to actually punish Larva.
Yeah, Hero wasn't paying attention of it. He really needs to pay attention with the middles. I know that he has the perfect number of meta count to pick up 1 drone, but if he's taking the Spur Colony damage from here and there, all those low HP Mutalisks,
look at this.
He can't even do the Muta Micro to pick off any of a Larva's drone right now.
Yeah, you can see that a bunch of his Mutas are heavily damaged, and actually Lings are running out onto the center of the map, but the Mutas saw it. I don't know about this move, but this is what Larva wants to opt for. He's going to try and draw the Mutas away from his base. That's going to allow his drones to mine the natural safely. Spire was placed at the Spore Colony too, so it's tucked away in a pretty nice spot. Now Hero has lost track of where the Lings are, and Larva has more Lings right now. If he goes for an attack, he might be able to shut down this Nat.
Yeah, that Mutalisks are pretty much out of position. He's pulling back one of the Mutalisks, and I'm not sure. Larva still has quite a lot of Zerglings still remaining at the 1 o'clock side, and now he knows not much of a Zerglings are left at the hero's natural. That 4 middles wanted to pick up one of the drones, but did not work once again.
Here he goes. That's still a lot of lings for Larva on the left side of the map. And he counters
no,
right
no,
when
no,
Hero
no,
leaves.
no.
How does that happen again?
Oh, yeah. Right now, Larva is heavily taking the advantage from here and there, and the Zergling run by once again. Is he gonna pick up the Spire? Okay, never mind. He didn't go for the Spire, but he will be forcing Hero to lose all those mining time. And now we can see Larva is spending all of his Vespene gas, and he's also mining the second gas. That means we know Larva is making Middleless, and maybe he will wait for another 11 Middleless and squeeze all of his resource for another timing attack.
And I can't believe that this Nat gas is up and running because there's no defense there. The Spore is out of position. He could hit the extractor from the bottom right corner. And now Larva is going to start catching up in Mutalisk. However, Hero is mining his Nat gas, but he's not mining his main gas. Even though he has 9 Mutalisk right now, Larva with 3 on gas at both bases is going to catch up very fast. Now there were surprisingly a couple of lings there that I didn't see, so these lings are going to be pushed back, but you can see it's just 4 Mutalisk for now for Larva, so he has quite a ways to come back in this game in terms of the Muta count.
They're still hiding a couple more of Zergling at the 12 o'clock side, but looks like Hero's also trying to spot all those Zergling. Okay, both of the players have spot that Zerglings at the 12 o'clock side, but once again, pulling that 5 Middleless.
Yeah, I thought, like, look at the vision for Hero. On the top side, he has so much vision, but he has no vision at the bottom side. And I'm worried that Larva might overstep here. He picks off 1 drone, but did he go far? He's caught now. It's 5 versus 9. This is 5 Mutalisk or at least a couple that are going to die. You can see he branches off, 2 there.
Ooh.
But that was not worth, but he kills some drones in the natural. Well, however, losing 3 Mutas, I mean, that's a big loss.
Okay, Larva only picked up 1 of the drones at the natural. Most of the drones were pulled back to the main base for Hero, so Hero was able to save all of the drone count. But now slowly Hero is having more of a Mutalisk count, but Larva still needs to work on the Mutalisk count to keep up for the Mutalisk battle. But is Larva planning to take another expansion? I think so.
He found the Mutas. Okay, you gotta run, dude, and he is going to run away. I like how Larva sent out a drone. He was gonna try and take bottom middle. That was so ambitious, but instead he redirects it to top left. He's gonna build a 3rd base there, but look at these Mutas catch up somehow. He ends up killing a Muta, but he loses 3 drones in the process, maybe even 4.
Ooh. Yeah, 4 drone. That was a very good pick off for Larva. Another drone?
5.
Will he be able to pick off? Oh my god, that...
But he kills another Muta. I mean, killing drones is fantastic, but if you're never able to equalize the Muta count...
Yeah, look at the number of Larva's drone count. He has completely saturated the main base, mineral mining and an Vespene gas, and he has quite a lot of drones at the natural, so he doesn't really need to make any of a Scourge. He can just constantly make Mutalisk from here.
Yeah, and this is such a weird situation because... if you're watching this, you're like, well, okay, well, if Hero finds the 3rd base, he can easily kill it because Larva doesn't have as many Mutas. But at the same time, once Larva knows that all of your Mutalisks are over there, he's just going to instantly counterattack. And he doesn't need to worry about dying to a counterattack himself because he already has Spores. And look at that, crucial upgrade has kicked in. +1 armor. Okay, there is +1 armor for Hero, so matching upgrades. +1 armor in ZVZ Muta matchups is massive. So luckily, both players have it.
Yeah, that drone is trying to probably bait Hero that he did not take the hidden expansion yet, but I guess Hero also planning to check out the hidden expansion, and he's checking at the 9 o'clock on time. That hatchery will get spotted on time, and Larva might have to cancel the hatchery, or really not cancel because
there's a lot of Mutalisk here. He's going to dive that Spore at the natural. That's going to force the Mutalisk back. However, he's going to pick off this extractor. Oh, no, he's not. He's going to back off. Look at this. Building a hatchery right on top of him. Yeah, I was like, dude, you can't build a hatch there, man. Mutalisks are just always in that area.
That Mutalisk count is definitely large for Hero. But that 2 Spur colony is doing quite a little bit of a job here and there. I want to see the mirrorless count. So Hero has quite a lot of a mirrorless count, but we can see Larva's mirrorless count is also high too. He has 11 mirrorless perfectly. And
Oh, +2 armor for Hero. That's another huge advantage for him. But you can see that the muta count has dwindled. What is it? Maybe like 13 or something? He has more than one group right now. But a Spore is somehow going to get up to top left, and Larva is mirroring the movement from Hero. Okay, now Hero has moved back down to the bottom side. Game is so close for both players. Hero has a supply lead, but the Spore advantage is really helping Larva out so much, and he's about to have his third gas.
I'm also want to point out that Hero does not have any drone mineral mining at the natural, so right now Hero is pretty much 2 gas all in. But Larva, if he constantly defend this second extractor and start running that third gas at the 9 o'clock side with the Spur colony being added, I'm not sure about Hero's all in here.
Lings go to top left, and there is no sunken there. However, mutas are already in position, and those mutas from Hero are kind of waiting for the interception. Instead, he gets intercepted by Scourge, and a couple of them do connect. More connect, and that's like 2 or 3 mutas that died that really shouldn't have. Meanwhile, that's still a ton of mutas at top left. Oh, is he gonna get another? He gets another kill with the Scourge.
Oh my. Yeah,
Another one!
Oh my god, this is not a... I feel like this is not Hero's day. Every time when Hero is trying to do the Muta Micro, pick up the drone pick up the skirts, it wasn't really working really well.
But it's still +1 armor for Larva versus +2. I don't think he realizes it, but the Spores are doing so much damage. Why is he sitting right next to the Spore?
No.
He's down to 6 mutalists left. How many does Larva have? It looks like he has way too many. And
Yeah,
that's
the shadow is big.
at the replay from our final game. As you mentioned, after knowing that there's no drones at the Nat, I was like, oh gosh, is this just going to trigger him to all in? Especially after all these Scourge connected. I guess he felt obligated to make something happen because once 3 gas kicks in, obviously there's no way he can come back at that point. Oh, it hurts to see those Scourge connect.
Yes, it is, and once again it connects. And I think this triggered Hero to do the all-in move, try to kill the Spore Colony at the bottom side. But the Hero did have the upgrade advantage, but doesn't even matter because Spore Colony does thousands of damage with those DPS, really fast DPS, and that Muta Micro is totally outplayed.
Yeah, we're looking at the results. A sweep, it's going to be a 4-0. You know, the last, what was it, round of 8, there were a lot of very quick series, and then round of 4, of course, was 4-1 and now 4-0. So players are making it into the next round in a hurry. And other than the final game, this series was not close. Larva just looked way more confident in this matchup. And results show 4-0 sweep, looking very, very dangerous this season. This might actually be his season, but at the same time, Mini looked untouchable in TVZ other than Hidden Track, but remember he lost like 10 probes in the first game and he still brought it to mid and late game. So this is going to be an amazing final series in ASL 11.
Yes. We didn't get to see the two-player map of a ZVZ, but however, it was a very impressive for Larva defending all those 9-pull play by Hero, and also even outplay with the Mira Micro there. And it looks like we're gonna be moving into Larva's interview. ASL Season 11 second finalist Larva.
일단은 일장이 형한테 ASL 시즌 4에 대한 좀 복수를 한 것 같아서 좀 기분이 좋고요. 그리고 또 결승 갔다는 사실이
So Larva is saying he's feeling great that he
다들 결승 올라온 분들이
won this ASL Season 11
되게 행복해
playing against Hero like, as a revenge match. He feels really happy. And Larva has watched all those other ASL players make it into final, and they were so happy every time when they were winning the semifinal. Larva, now he can understand how it feels to be on a being in a final in the ASL tournament.
일단
So he
연습
feels really
과정
happy. He feels happy.
자체가 많이 달랐고요. 예전에는 저 혼자 연습했다면 지금은 좀 같은 이제 프로게이머와 옵저버도 보면서 피드백도 얻고 그다음 또 연습량도
So Larva is talking about how he used to
많이
prepare.
배우게 되더라고요. 그래가지고 뭐 올라가는 거에 대한 의미를 좀 두지 말고
Previous
배우는 거에도
seasons, he usually did he practiced and prepared for his tournament match by himself, but nowadays he is asking other ASL players and getting some feedback of his mistakes or his weaknesses and so on, and fixing all of his weaknesses just made him so strong.
뭐 그거는 예전에 이제 김태경
I
선수
think the caster asked Larva, how do you feel about ZVP?
이 사람을 좀 도와주는
And Larva is saying that
좀 강박한 점이 있는데 이번에 뭐 태경 형도 이기고
Larva is saying that he can't really lose to Protoss because when
선수도 이기면서
when he was in SK Telecom team during the Caspa era, he was pretty much the sandbag for Bisu's PVZ. So he feels great about being a sandbag playing against Bisu PVZ. So although the practice that he has done in the maybe 10 years ago in SK Telecom team, he should not ever lose to other Protoss players because Bisu was the #1 PVZ player in the back then.
그리고 또 실력도 되게 변칙적으로 하면서
Larva, I think they're talking about how he thinks about Mini, and Larva said he knows Mini also prepare well and doing all of the hard work trying to make it into ASL final. And he's also talking about himself that he did change his playstyle. Remember, like back then, Larva used to play all those macro style all the time, never even played all in at all. So he decided to change that he can also do some of a mind game and play aggressive in this season. So it did pay him off that he made it into semi-final and also make it into final this season.
16강 때부터 계속 함께 있었던 이제 짭제동 박상현 선수가 정말 좀 든든했고 또 많은 곁에서 힘이 됐어요. 그래서 어떻게 보면은 뭐 지금 방송에서는 라이벌 관계지만 정말 서로
I think Larva is talking about the inspiration of how Soma was giving him to him.
그다음 빌드별로 이렇게 딱 파일로 나눠서 정말 보내준
So he
친구가 있었는데
wants to say thanks to Soma, I believe, and giving all of the motivation to him as well. So he also wants to say thank you to his viewers, giving all those data. Like I guess the Microsoft Excel that we talked about in round of 16. So maybe all those his fans were giving out those feedback for Larva, and did help Larva to play really well in the ASL Season 11. And that's it for the interview.
Yeah, congratulations to Larva. He crushed it this season. I was not expecting that result. I actually thought Hero was going to be a bit of favorite in the ZVZ matchup, but not the case. This was a blowout, not close at all. And as I stated before, this is going to be the first time we see Larva in the finals. And unfortunately, Hero's not going to be making his second appearance into the finals. He is going to be eliminated in the round of 4, but he still is going to have that 3rd and 4th place match to see where he actually plays. He still should be feeling pretty good about his performance because he's going to be seeded directly into the next season, which is always nice. But yeah, what do you think we can expect from our PVZ finals? Is there somebody here that you favor, or do you think this should be a close match?
I know previous season all those Zerg players were winning all those ASL tournaments, but I still wanna root for Larva because it's his first time making it into final, and I also have been seeing Larva stream how he does his macro whenever he shows his keyboard cam. It's completely insane. He never looks at his hatchery. He constantly macro all of his hatchery with fingers from 5 to 0 all the time, and constantly doing micro. And we know that Mini is also a monster in PvZ, beating Queen without scouting. He just does his own build order and just counters whatever Queen was doing, and that was also impressive. But I also want to see how Mini is going to be playing differently in this final match.
Yeah, I think for sure both players have a good shot of taking it all. Thinking back to the PvZ versus Queen, Mini crushed him so hard. It's hard to root against him. But at the same time, Larva's late game is nuts. And he just doesn't die in the early game in my experience watching him. And once he gets to the late game, he's almost untouchable. So Mini's going to have to pull out something special. I'm kind of going to lean in favor of Larva here. If he doesn't die in the early game, I think he has a really good shot with his split map style to win it all. But it wouldn't surprise me if Mini takes the series, because really, that series versus Queen, that was something special actually in PvZ. But this is going to be a very exciting PvZ matchup. Of course, we don't have Flash here. We don't have Queen. We don't have two of the mega superstars you expect to see in the finals. So it's always nice to see a newcomer finally get their title, right? Like, as you mentioned, Larva's been working so hard to get here. It would be nice to see him take it, but also to see a Protoss take a final.
I also want to say that all those other Zerg players did not want to play on the Ultimate stream because they don't really play the turtle style. But Larva's EVP is completely different than the other Zerg players. He knows how to play the turtle style, and he knows how to transition into hype tech and show how strong with his macro is in the late game. And I wonder how Mini is also going to fight back against those turtle style of the Zerg playstyle.
Yeah, and I'm just theory crafting here. Like, if Larva gets a win on the first map and then somehow Ultimate Stream becomes the second map, and let's just say he wins there because we think that's going to be a Larva map, he would be up 2-0, and that would put momentum on his side. So I think that could be a potential outcome in the first couple games when we get into that series. But that, of course, we haven't gotten there yet. We're going to find out next week, right? It's going to be on Tuesday. It should be exactly a week. We're going to be seeing the third place match first, and that's going to be between Queen and Hero. So that should be another good ZVZ. Both players looking for redemption, because honestly, Queen kind of disappointed versus Mini, and Hero's not happy about losing a ZVZ 4-0.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't Hero's days to play really well tonight, but it was still a nice try with the 9-pull speed and try to execute him. But it did go well. But I guess Larva was just outplayed here and there and constantly making a comeback with the late game style, and Hero couldn't really keep up.
Yeah, it seemed like Hero had finally found some sort of answer versus Larva in the final game, but those Ling backstabs over and over and over and over, killing so many drones. If they don't get that many drones, like, the final Ling attack got 5 drones. Remember that? If those 5 drones don't die, he's mining his natural minerals, and then maybe he also gets a third base up, right? It would be a completely different outcome. So, as you mentioned, just not Hero's day, but he did have a really good ASL run, and he'll be looking to make redemption in the 3rd and 4th place match, especially since it is a ZVZ matchup. So that should be exciting. As you're seeing here, it's going to be on June 1st on Tuesday. Actually, so third place match is going to be a week, and then I guess the finals is going to be next week on Sunday. So both players are going to have a bit more time to practice. And I think the casters are about to wrap up in just a second. Maybe not.
I think I just saw the banner on the bottom side that June 1st on Tuesday it is going to be the third and fourth placement match between Queen and Hero, and they are going to do the third and fourth placement match first before the final. So we are not going to have.
They're going to do third and fourth place and the finals on the same day?
No, I don't think so. They're probably going to do it on a separate day.
Okay, yeah. So the finals, the players are going to have a little bit more time compared to the third and fourth place finishers. So you know that Larva is going to have a lot of time to study that no scout style that Mini showed versus Queen. That was a very interesting style. And, you know, I was mentioning it to some of my Zerg friends, and they thought it was especially strong because somebody mentioned, like, it allows you to get your tech like 10 to 20 seconds faster while also pumping non-stop zealots. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is definitely also crazy. But
I also
are they wrapping up? I guess not.
You know, I also read on Team Liquid that someone mentioned, Bisu said that this was like a meta switch for PvZ, the no scout style. You know, I didn't read the translation because I can't read Korean yet, but from what was posted, it seems like even Bisu was impressed with Mini's play. So he's definitely a deadly force to be reckoned with this season. He does have a good shot versus Larva.
Since Korean commentators are not wrapping up, so I want to talk about this no scout build that other players like Zerg and Terran players, or maybe I should say the old school players like Bisu, they do not like to look at game timer. But the new upcoming players, they study up from the game timer, and that also helps with the gameplay style. But specifically, like I think effort and Bisu, they do not like to look at game timer. Like let's talk about before the remaster came out. Whenever you played StarCraft in that